falsely now. The hour is getting late. The hour is indeed late, both for Claire and Liam and for all of our children. There was a time not too long ago when giving anything like a final exam to a third grader would have been an idea to be laughed at. No one is laughing now. We somehow find ourselves in a new paradigm, an entire system where a year's worth of learning gets focused down like the sun through a magnifying glass into a tiny dot, a single shot at a high-stakes make-or-break test, pressure cooker that affects your grade progression and then follows you around like an unwelcome guest, coloring perceptions as you try to enter into other programs that Orange County offers. How did this happen? It wasn't always like this. What changed? Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., the human race will land a robot on a comet that's orbiting the sun at 83,000 miles an hour. Start to finish, the entire mission took almost 20 years, involved almost 2,000 people. These men and women built a ship and took a shot and have produced an achievement that is mind-boggling in its conception and its complexity. And not a single one of those people took the FCAT or the FSA or any sort of standardized test to advance to third grade. They didn't take them because they didn't need to. You see, there was already a system in place to gauge where a child was in his learning progression. It's the same system that's worked since the very first student sat in front of the very first teacher. Best of all, it's free. Well, at least it's already paid for. It's the teacher's evaluation of their own students. The teacher that spends hours of each day with each child, sometimes more than the parents themselves get to spend. The teacher that knows where each one of their charges is along every single necessary curve. You ask for accountability? Look at their achievements. Look at the teacher buying supplies with their own salary, making a pot of coffee at 1 a.m. so she can watch a few more videos on how to do this really cool science experiment that she knows her kids will love. You look at the robot on the surface of that comet tomorrow. That's a true accounting. Those are true results that give you far more insight and satisfaction than a single-digit result from a standardized test ever will. So I end up where I began. How did we find ourselves in a system where we give more weight to a single one-time score than to the evaluations of the expert educator that knows these children better than anyone else? What have these manufacturers of these tests shown you that convinces you that they know better? Where is this magic test that can somehow glean everything you need to know across a broad spectrum from every child and distill it down to a single 1 through 5 number? I got about 1 more minute. Cool. Now let me be clear. I'm in no way in any sort of anti-test camp. I've read thoroughly the American Institute for Research's mission statement, their goals, and the data that their testing claims provide. That all sounds great. But we've taken these one-size-fits-all, one-time tests, and we're using them in ways they were never, ever intended to be used. In middle school, your 1 through 5 score on the single test accounts for 30% of your overall grade in some subjects. These numbers get plugged into a complicated formula that spits out another number, which counts for 50% of a teacher's evaluation for that school year. These tests are designed to provide a small glimpse, a peek into the window of a child's current status, where they're strong, where do they need work. To use these results they produce as some sort of, well, now let's see how good a teacher you really are metric. It's like using a hedge trimmer for a haircut. You'll get results, but it's not the right tool, and the outcome is certainly going to be suspect. In our quest for accountability and metrics, we've lost our way from our true purpose. To take bright and interesting, curious minds and give them
in fairness to the other speakers, I need you to wrap up.
Sure.
Please.
Do I have 2 more sentences?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Ernest Hemingway sentences. On the top.
Well, yeah, I forget. That's really all I had to say, and I'm sort of passionate about the subject, obviously, because I have 2 very bright children who are about to enter into this sort of crazy world, and so think about what I said, please.
Yeah, I will. You should be very proud of your children. Thank you.